Welcome to Ari Faye's Tips, Tricks, and Kicks for the Rookery. This is the long-form commentary version where I discuss things at more length. If you wish to see a shorter overview, I have a fast version that you can check out as well. Now, on higher keys, you might see your tank pull in this large bird that's up to the left over here. You have to be careful about standing on this platform. Some people suggest it. You can do that, but it can be harder to kick if you are standing there. So if you want to start putting hots on everybody from there so you're nice and safe, I would understand. But it might be a good idea to just go ahead and drop down at some point so that you can go ahead and help with kicks. You're going to focus on kicking the lightning bolt that the Thunderer is casting.
Watch all.
But that Void Rider is going to do a lot of AoE dam, so you do want to keep your hots rolling if your tank does pull the bird.
I will distract them here. We can link up later.
If they don't pull the bird, I would suggest that you advise that Lust happen on this first pack coming onto the platform. You'll see another Cursed Thunderer that needs to be interrupted. You'll want your hots rolling.
Enrage.
And by that I mean you'll want a rejuve and germination on as many people as you can get. Your life blooms down as well as your efflorescence down, and fill with some regrowths. When the Void Rider does the AoE, that is some big damage, but really the Stormrook in some of these packs here is going to energize barrage one target, and that will do some big dam on a single target. Make sure that you have hots rolling on everybody. That way you can just cast regrowth on whoever is being targeted by that barrage. Another Cursed Thunderer joins the pack here. Just make sure those lightning bolts get interrupted. It seems like it won't be that much damage, but when it starts stacking on all the other damage that's going out, it really can be pretty destructive. We have another bird here. Another Void Rider.
AoE incoming. Frontal. Enrage.
There's that energized barrage causing a big dam.
AoE incoming. Frontal.
Really should have refreshed my efflorescence there.
AoE incoming.
And this group of casters that is on this far side in the corner here is pretty dangerous. You are going to want to keep these interrupted. Again, it's those Cursed Thunderers, but it's the only pack where there's like 3 of them at the same time, and they really can do a lot of damage. They can definitely wipe your party if they don't stay CC'd and interrupted. You can probably stand to let 1 or 2 go off, but if a person is targeted by 2 at the same time, you can probably expect that they will be taken out by those. Now with
Watch your step.
Curios, I don't know if that's how you say his name.
Watch your step.
Well, with the first boss at least. During the intermissions, as long as you have hots on everybody, you can probably
Watch your
just
step.
stand to do some, maybe like one wild growth in the middle of it, but you can definitely do some DPS here. Curios is going to shoot out at a large spot. You're going to move out.
Watch your step.
There's no damage really going out here, so you can do some DPS, and then you could bear form in the moment when he puts those large circles out on everybody. The Crashing
Watch your
Thunder.
step.
It's never going to do enough damage on a
Watch your
15
step.
or lower that a person will die from having Crashing Thunder on them, so you can heal them up afterwards.
Watch your step. Watch your step. Watch your step.
Then during Lightning Torrent, you are going to move around in a circle. Try to stay at range if you can, or if you are cat weaving, then I would stay in melee on top of other melee, because when you start to stack, it gets pretty dangerous with where the circles can be located.
Watch your step. Watch your step. Watch your step. Watch your step.
I like to, in the later phases, give people a Stampeding Roar. It can help because most of them have used their movement abilities already, and it kind of just helps move that last phase along to finish off the first boss.
Watch your step. Watch your step.
If you turn into cat form there, you take less damage when you fall down.
Finally, I thought I'd have to fight Gorin on my own.
Definitely put some hots on people here as you're running into this first pack. After the first boss, you're going to keep that Oracle interrupted as well. You can use your Typhoon to blow him along. You can use these little,
Only the strongest survive.
You can use those columns there to avoid the Arcing Void. Arcing Void on hierarchies is definitely pretty dangerous. It could kill you. If you are doing hierarchies, I would recommend bear forming if you're targeted by that circle and you're unable to line of sight in time. It would have been nice if I had hots rolling on everyone there, but I did not manage to retain them from the previous pack.
Spread.
Pulling in.
Spread.
When I first started playing the dungeons for this season, I was like, oh my god, Rookery's actually kind of fun.
Pulling in.
Really enjoying it, but as I started to do hierarchies, I really changed my mind about that. You run out of mana so fast, I feel like, on these. It's so hard to do any kind of DPS to get your mana back.
Spread.
So here, I might take no's to wait for me to put hots out on everybody before he pulls this pack, which can be pretty dangerous. There is an oracle in this pack which needs to be interrupted. If it's not interrupted, it can be pretty dangerous with cast going off on top of the other damage. I would also recommend bear forming if you think you're going to get that arcing void on you, but better yet, moving behind a column, because the arcing void is so deadly that you could die if you're targeted.
Pulling in.
Spread.
Pulling in.
As you can see, I had my rejuves out on everybody. I had as many germs as I could retain up on people, and I had my life blooms out. Now we just have this crusher. No damage there. I take a quick drink here. My tank has pulled the this extra void cursed crusher into this pack for some funnel.
Spread. Watch way.
Every time he does that ability, it's my recommendation that you turn into a bear.
Pulling in.
I wish it didn't have to be that way, but it does.
Spread.
When you get the debuff on you, I would also recommend bark skinning. If you don't have it up, try, if you can, to save iron bark for yourself.
Spread.
And here he's going to do the jump pretty soon.
Watch way.
And bear form. Take a little bit less damage. Helping you to heal other people who are getting the debuff up faster. Always make sure your efflorescence is down for that extra healing. Bear form. Ability goes out. But there's no damage. Make sure you have your life bloom up on whoever is whoever has the debuff. They are going to be taking some big damage. The life bloom that we have is the closest we have to a shield, just because it heals so effectively.
Pulling in.
And then you'll just repeat regrowth them until the debuff is gone.
Watch way.
Bear form. Shamans do not have that many defensives, so they are going to take a lot more damage on hierarchies.
Watch way.
Pulling in.
See, I get the debuff, I press Spark Skin. Oh, our tank died.
What target you?
I kind of honestly hate that fight. This is a great pack over here to get some mana back. Do some DPS. There is the Ascendant that casts Feasting Void. You can heal that off with your Convoke, or if you have all of your
Watch orb.
Rejuves, Germinations, and Life Blooms active.
Watch orb.
You could also help out towards the beginning of this pack with interrupting the Ascendant
Spread.
with your Skull Dash.
If we want to keep going, we will have to go down the storyteller way. Follow me.
You'll see many of the same mob types down here. You have the Ascendant and the Void Cursed Crusher. Ascendant needs to be interrupted. They'll cast the Feasting Void. Do some big healing.
Spread. Watch orb.
And if you already have Hots Out on everybody, you can just do some spot
Watch your-
resets and you should heal everybody up pretty quickly.
Watch orb. Watch orb.
This Cursed Void Stone over here,
Spread.
you want him to get down to 40% after the Ascendants are gone. You never want to join the Void Stone's circles with the Ascendant cast of Feasting Void. You will die. So if the Ascendant is still up when your Cursed Void Stone gets down to
Spread.
40% when they start casting Unleash Darkness, you will die. Having those two
incoming.
things overlap
Watch your
is
step.
extremely deadly.
Spread.
Just imagine that happening at the same time as the Void Stones cast.
Watch orb.
As you can see, my DPS are focusing the Ascendant and not the Void Stone, which is ideal. Because then, when we get down to 40% here, when Unleash Darkness goes off, we can focus
AOE
on healing
incoming.
that
Watch
and
your step.
not the additional Feasting Void. When it comes to the Void Stone, usually I try and heal the first two AoEs with just my spot healing. So retaining those rejuves, retaining those germinations, having those life blooms up, and then spot healing with regrowths So that way, when my hots are starting to run off, I can just use Convoke. Try not to use Convoke at the beginning of that
Run
sequence. For the Voidstone Monstrosity, you're
Watch
just
your
going to be
step.
running around and dispelling people.
Target you.
Kind of an aggravating fight, to be honest. It's not super fun. If you could get some DPS in on this phase, then it is really helpful. I tried to save my Convoke and DPS as a moonkin. You can also DPS as a cat. Use your cat Convoke there. But the boss is going to take increased damage during that phase, and any additional DPS
Watch
you
your
can do
step.
there is really helpful.
Target you.
If you do get the debuff, just try your best to get out
Run
of the area.
Watch
That
your
way you're
step.
not dropping your nasty
Target
circle where everyone is meleeing. Here we have the damage phase again. Try and do as much DPS as you possibly can. A person who's better at DPS would probably be DPSing as they're running back and forth, but that person is not me. Oh, I forgot to mention that if you get the,
Watch
once you
your
get
step.
that knock-up, you could turn into a
Target you.
bear and take less damage.
Run out.
If you want to do a big heal quickly on people who have the debuff, you could do a Nature's Swiftness into Regrowth, or a Swift Mend into Regrowth. And you can see Bear
Watch your
Form
step.
get popped up.
Target you.
Take less damage. I hope you have learned something from the Rookery's tips, tricks, and kicks video. Check out my other videos if you want to see how I handle mobs in other dungeons.